Hello everyone and welcome back to the Belgian Beer Brothers channel. Cedric here in Antwerp, but today with a beer again, but again not to review. Instead, I would like to quickly go over my final Toer de Geuze haul of this 2024 edition. Now, as many of you guys know, Toer de Geuze is a biannual event organized by Horaal, or de Hoge Raad van Ambachtelijke Lambic Brouwers en Stekers, the High Council of Lambic Brewers and Blenders, during which all the Horaal members and some others as well open their doors to the grand public to come and visit the brewery, taste the beers and buy some exclusives. Now, unfortunately, I didn't find the time to make videos during the Toer de Geuze, but the organization did have a film crew and I will be visiting separately when things are a lot calmer. The Antwerp Beer College is a club that I happen to be a board member of, and they organize several bus trips on Saturday and Sunday for each Toer de Geuze, and each of those buses visits 4 breweries. This year I joined 2 of them, visiting 7 breweries in total because 1 overlapped, and of course I also got a bunch of beers. On Saturday we visited Kestemond Lindemans Lambic Fabriek and ended at Oud-Beersel, and on Sunday we started at Hanses Artisanal, went on to Den Herberg and then visited Bonn and again ended up in Oud-Beersel. Now, I will not be talking about Bonn and Oud-Beersel because I didn't buy anything there, but let's have a look at the rest of our visits. Finishing off today is our second visit of Sunday. Unfortunately, the shortest visit as well. Since 2 years ago, Den Herberg didn't have much except for a tiny tour and a limited bar and shop. Granted, it was their first time, just like Kestemond this year. We only took out an hour to be here. Sweet baby Jeebus, were we wrong. First off, we were greeted by the cool ship that they moved onto the driveway for the occasion. Of course, the cool ship is one of the most iconic tools in lambic brewing, so that was a very nice touch. They didn't change much when it comes to setup or location, but behind the bar they had a bunch of primeurs, as we say, a bunch of firsts, a bunch of specials. Now, some first-time brews and limited editions were present. For example, a Vosse lambic of only 3 weeks old, not months, not years, weeks. And they offered a taster palette of 7 lambics, offering the entire range from that Vosse lambic and each year until 6 years old. They also kept some Geuze Kriek and Kriek lambic, and they sold the Geuze Genereus, a blend of 4, 5 and 6 year old lambic, for the first time. Of course, we did have to taste some of those beers, but our time was so extremely limited here that we could only have a few. If we had more time, we would have shared one of those taster flights, but alas, we couldn't. So we started out with the most novelty beer there was, the 3-week-old Vosse lambic. It was sweet, it was sparkly, it had a lot of wheat flavors, it had some acidity, it was hugely refreshing. Wow. Just wow. And unfortunately, not for sale. Next, we shared a bottle of the Geuze Genereus, and as we were planning on closing off with an oak lambic, we went to the bar and we actually just took another Vosse lambic because that was so awesome we had to go back. Unfortunately, that was about the end of our visit, but I still had the time to go through the shop. And as far as the hall goes, again, unfortunately, they didn't have a wide variety of beers when comparing to the bar at least. And it was more about merchandise, but as usual, I got myself a glass and some beers, being the Oude Geuze, the Geuze Genereus, and their fantastic Cuvée de Villet, and a special anniversary Geuze for the 150th anniversary of painter Louis Thévenet, creatively called the Oude Geuze Thévenet 150. And a nice touch was that they had different labels for that one Geuze with different paintings and different colors. Now, I might regret not getting their other beers, their top fermented beers, but I will be getting them on a later date. So now I have 4 of these beers. I will be talking about them definitely. I already talked about the Toer de Geuze 2 years ago during the Toer de Geuze as well. I'll put a link up below or up here, and see how my opinion might have changed. I am such a fan of this brewery that I got all the beers that I could get double, so I could enjoy them off camera as well. But nonetheless, we will be talking about them later on. Now, if you want to know more about this brewery, follow that link down below. If you want to know more about Horal, again, link down below. And if you are interested in the Antwerp Beer College and what we do, yeah, that is that other link. Make sure to have a look, maybe become a member. We are dirt cheap. We send out magazines, you'll get discounts on all our activities, and we do some intellectual stuff next to tastings, and we also have guest speakers and all that jazz. But that all being said, yeah, I will see you guys again, I'd say tomorrow, with another brew review. And after that I am still on holiday, so I might miss another few days, but fuck it, I'm having fun. See you guys the next time. Cheers!